Well, good morning, everybody. Another day ahead of us for CMA Industry Week. I'm your host, Ben Wu, coming to you live for day 7. On day 7, we've got some pretty cool stuff as usual, and it will be our last day of our English programming. So to start the day, we're going to go to Florida, and our friends at AAMP Global, in particular, good friend Jeff Smith, will be covering PAC integration products. So let's go ahead and bring Jeff on. Well, good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning, Ben.
Tell you what, you're up, man. You no pressure. You're starting the day off, and I think we have the next few hours with you to really dig deep onto the entire offering. That well, basically, AMP is a really big company. We're going to discover that, but we've selected 4 categories that we're going to do a deep dive on.
Cool. Yep. It's going to start with PAC and move through Stinger, Echo Master, and Phoenix Gold, and take up most of the morning.
How's your week been during Industry Week? Just to get a little bit of your feedback.
Industry Week's been awesome. Man, if the dealers aren't thrilled about the information that's been, delivered from all the different manufacturers and distributors, I mean, this whole CMA thing, when you guys first approached me, it was like, okay, cool, this is going to be interesting. But now, since we've lived a week of it, man, this is incredible. So I know you guys aren't able to get out and see each other and mingle, but this is definitely a way to get dealers all the information they need now that spring's approaching and starter season's going to slow down, and hopefully you guys will be able to get out and do more business and things like that. And not only that, CMA is reaching all around the world. I mean, I've had people in Italy and Australia and all over the UK reach out to us about what's going on and coming up. So you guys are doing a great job, so kudos to you guys.
Well, thank you, but it's with the participation with manufacturers and participants such as yourself. So why don't we get comfortable so that we can get our learn on about PAC? But before that, we've got a series of videos that we're going to start each session with to kind of set the stage, because there's a couple new things that the folks at that AMP Global are, they're kind of excited about. So let's start with that. Yes. Let's take a quick minute just to maybe touch on what we just experienced there, Jeff.
So that's one of the things we're going to talk about in the first 2 presentations. A new level of integration that we're kind of focusing on more. Kind of one of the things that we've done. If a lot of viewers haven't noticed the changeover of AMP, we've gone from purple to blue. We've also changed our logo. The company has kind of changed the thought process to be more engineering, full feature rich products in order to give the consumers and dealers definitely more than what's previously been offered from our company in single box plug and play solutions. So that particular video was a sneak peek into our new Jeep JL interface that encompasses every part of our company. That's pretty much what we are going, not completely moving into, but really doing a lot of focus on full feature packages for vehicle platforms.
Very interesting. Something that's a little bit of a new departure, because it's always been segmented, right?
Correct.
You always offer pieces of the puzzle. And I think what you're trying to tell me is where app is going, it might be bringing all these resources together into one offering.
Correct. You'll see a lot of cross branding from different parts of our company in order to make products fit and function better than ever. So you'll see that in almost every presentation, how more than one brand under the AMP umbrella is integrated into one particular part of the product.
Very, very cool. Well, how about we get into it?
All right, let's do it.
Spring training. Let's get our learn on.
Yes, sir. And forgive me if you see me looking around, because I have so many things going on in here.
Jeff has like 9 screens open. He's in his bat cave, just so you know. So that's where his eyeballs are headed.
Yeah. All right. So For 2021, lots of the things that's going on here at AMP is that we are, like I said, we are really focusing on engineering during this time that we've been down, locked down in the pandemic. Unlike other companies, we have actually grown a lot, and a lot of the growth we've done has been within engineering. And the purpose in which the company's new direction and thought process is that we want to create these fully integrated solutions for our customers that in essence will always give a safer, simpler, and more enjoyable drive, whether it be on-road or off-road. And you'll see that we have expanded a ton of products for our commercial and off-road division as we go out throughout the day. So think about this. PAC has always been known as the integration company, right? When people come into your stores or you bring a new vehicle into the store, there's always the option of, are you going to replace or are you going to integrate, right? Replacement has always been the thought process for years. And in the past few years, integration has become more the thought process. So we like to divide our PAC training into two sections, replacement or integration. Since replacement is typically what most people in the industry have been used to, we're going to start here. So when you're looking to upgrade an audio system in modern vehicles today, replacing the radio system has become a huge task. Why? Because the OEMs have really stepped their game up in the past few years. They've taken the standard single DIN, double DIN, DIN and a half over the past few years and integrated this into large touchscreen panels that are fully integrated into the vehicle. Everything that you can imagine in the vehicle is now centered around the radio itself or infotainment center in the vehicle. So your head unit, your radio itself, climate controls, parking sensors, backup cameras, having Bluetooth connectivity, navigation, even app support now, CarPlay, Android Auto are huge factors that are big pulls when people are looking at buying vehicles today and even upgrading in aftermarket scenarios. So now just thinking of grabbing a standard dash kit and wiring harness to go out to replace a head unit is not as simple as it used to be, Ben. So this is where these fully integrated solutions are going to be needed in order to deal with these modern problems.
Have you noticed how much bigger the screens have become over the years?
100%, right? So I remember back in the day when you saw a little, 4-inch square screen in the dash, monochrome, and you were like, what are we going to do with this? And now you have these 9-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, the big 12.1 Dodge screen now, right? And the Tesla screens, from factory in a lot of these different vehicles. So being able to steer a customer in the direction of replacing that head unit, if that's what they truly want in an audio upgrade or in a feature set upgrade to add safety features and things like that, it is a huge task. So knowing what's out there, knowing how to upgrade that customer and make sure that they retain all the features they want and be able to give them a platform to add additional features, that's what everything that we do in these new integrated series of products from PAC, what we'll learn about.
Without losing any features. I got to bring that up because that's the number one key. A lot of people want to add these features, but are they willing to sacrifice features to gain new ones? So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then it has to look like it belongs in the vehicle as well. So, all right. So this is kind of our development process, right? We look at what does the vehicle itself need if they're looking to upgrade the audio system and change out the head unit, whether it's a analog interface, a data interface. Is it just a dash kit we need for a particular vehicle, or does it require both? So we try to give the thought process of what actually needs to happen in order for that to go into a project. Then we think about the installers. Since a lot of the people in our company are installers, we always think about the process of what it's going to take to install this. What harness length it needs, what connections it needs, the amount of time it's going to take to install this, programming and being able to optimize things so that the installation is made a lot easier. And then last but not least, the most important is the consumer, making sure that those OEM features are retained, that it's extremely reliable. It's not going to hiccup on them. They're not going to go back to the dealer and have issues with the dealer and other computers in the vehicle. And also it being extremely easy to use and operate. So we try to make all these decisions and thought process go into the development of every product that we do under the AMP umbrella. So let's talk about basic radio replacement stage 1. So Radio Pro has been a staple for the PAC brand for many years. It was It was the culmination of three of the major products that people needed to install a head unit over the years. It would typically be your vehicle interface that talks to your vehicle's computer to make sure everything stays healthy and working in that particular vehicle. Then the incorporation of steering wheel controls. PAC started the entire steering wheel control craze years ago, and we integrated those two guys together. And then we also brought in the ability to retain or if you needed to retain amplification in the vehicle. So all that information into one single box is what Radio Pro has been for many years. And Radio Pro is evolved into three different levels for their standard Radio Pro, and it's available in many different vehicle platforms: Ford, Chrysler, GM, Honda, Toyota, Hyundai, Audi, Volkswagen, many different applications for Radio Pro when integrating these radio integrations. And within those three different levels, Radio Pro 3 is the most entry level. So it works amplified and non-amplified and gives you the options for nav output, right? So Radio Pro is to add any brand of radio. It is not specific to one brand of radio. It's a universal platform for integrating any aftermarket radio into these vehicle platforms. Radio Pro 4 adds the ability to now have steering wheel controls built into it, where Radio Pro 3 was pre-wired for one of our steering control modules to be plugged into it. Then Radio Pro 5 takes it even further, and it includes everything a 3 will do. It will work in amplified and non-amplified vehicles. It will work with the vehicle's factory steering wheel controls, rear seat entertainment if equipped for a lot of the vehicles, and it also works in vehicle platforms with telematics. So for the GM platform, that would be your OnStar. For Ford, we have some integration with their sync systems. And then in Hyundai, there was the Blue Link. So we have a few different platforms available in Radio Pro Advanced. And Radio Pro Advanced has been out in the marketplace for a while now. With that being said, we've evolved the Radio Pro series into now Radio Pro Advanced. And within the first series of Radio Pro Advanced modules, we attacked the GM platform because, Ben, the GM platform is the fastest moving, most robust part of our Radio Pro platform, and it's the most sales around the world. What we did with Radio Pro Advanced was we made sure that we wanted to enhance all the features and the hardware capabilities that we've had in Radio Pro for the past years. So having the ability to upgrade this gave us the ability to now ensure features above and beyond what standard Radio Pro was given our end user and installers. Some of the upgraded benefits we gave the end user was the fact of we took away the standard little chime module. The chime module, the CMX, has been around for many years. Just a little small piezo speaker in a little box, and it replicated a chime sound, just a little raspy chime sound. What we've done now is we've actually taken the OEM tone and recorded it in a WAV file in the hardware of the new Radio Pro Advanced. So now the factory chimes sound like the OEM chimes. Like, you cannot tell the difference between our chimes and the OEM chimes. Another thing that we did is we actually incorporated the ability for all the premium systems now to have the ability to have dynamic fading capability, where before that was only an option in certain vehicle platforms. We've also included the ability to now have a data platform to have performance gauges and vehicle information displayed in some of the aftermarket radio platforms, which we'll talk about that evolving along the way. Just the hardware itself opened up a new avenue of new vehicle platform and features. And then, of course, we can now tap into the data bus and give these older platform vehicles the ability to control safety products, right? So now we can integrate and bring in products over from our EchoMaster brand into the PAC world and give customers the ability to add front and rear, left and right blind spot cameras and control them from this standard radio integration harness that previously with the older generation Radio Pro was not even an option.
How many video inputs?
Well, you have to use a separate module. It's called a VS41, and it will give your customer up to 4 video inputs into your camera. Into the backup camera input of any aftermarket radio that you choose to pair with this particular.
Would that integrate with the factory rear cam too?
Yes. Okay. If the vehicle has a factory camera in the back of the vehicle, there are ways that we can typically have in the manuals of how to hardwire the OEM camera back into the system. And then there's other peripherals that we offer under the PAC brand to help integrate that, because some cameras are regular composite video inputs, some have differential inputs, and sometimes the lines get wavy and things like that. So we have different little products in the PAC brand to help integrate and not have those problems integrating and retaining those factory features that the customer already had in their vehicle.
One last question, Jeff. What
Yep.
about if my car or truck has blind spot cameras, OE?
If you have depending on the factory computer system in that vehicle, if we have the ability to look into all data and figure out that wiring information, then we have, if it's possible, then we have a way of integrating it into it with additional parts.
Okay. Interesting.
Cool. Yep. So from an installer or the retailer standpoint, one of the biggest things we did with the Radio Pro Advance and many PAC products and other products under the AAMP umbrella is we started to really enforce our map protection, being that the internet has become a huge player in our industry in the past few years. Having serialized map protected products really keeps everyone on an even playing field, from the small box guys to the big box guys. Moving into that serialized map protection has been really important for keeping profitability up and stable across the industry. From a installer standpoint as well, being able to constantly keep these units up to date is extremely easy by having a direct USB, micro USB port on the side of the products. Before installation, the dealer or installer has the ability to check the product revision tag on the box itself, and then also on the back of the module, and they can always compare that against the actual website to see if there's been a new update, and then they can update the module at any point in time. Ben, that is a huge feature because that keeps a dealer from having old product in stock, having the ability to update it on the fly. You never have to worry about sending something back, or if it's out of date, you can update it in your inventory at any point in time.
Very nice.
Yep. Making the harnesses and the harnesses longer, modules smaller, makes installation a lot easier as well. So having the chime integration, steering control integration, everything into one small box, allowing you to tuck it into the dash or behind vents or up into the dash cavity to create more space in the dash is extremely handy as well compared to the larger modules we had in the original Radio Pro series.
Less points of failure too. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? One small nick of a wire, you know what I mean? If it's all in the same, just less points of failure.
Exactly. We also improved the audio input into it, taking the RCAs off. The reason we took the RCAs off, first and foremost, was the fact that there was a constant battle with whether a shop was going to sell a customer a 4-volt head unit or 2-volt head unit or a vehicle with, a head unit with less than 2 volts, because the stronger input always made a better audio source for the vehicle, and it would make everything in the vehicle work the way it was originally designed. But when you didn't sell a customer a head unit that had a 2-volt input, sometimes there could be noise problems and things like that. So by taking the RCAs off of these Radio Pro Advanced modules, we now take a high level input from the head unit. So that way you're going to get the highest signal directly into the module in order to make everything work exactly the same, regardless of the type of radio you put into it. Being that you're taking the speaker level from the head unit in it, it's also giving you a balanced input to help reject noise as well. We also upgraded the module itself, and now we have a 10 amp accessory output. So there's no need to add additional relays behind the head unit in order to turn on the head unit, maybe turn on other accessories that you need to have the accessory output controlling when you turn the vehicle on. And then, like we talked about previously, Ben, having those the expansion port on the Radio Pro Advanced modules to plug in other modules down the road, like that VS41 video switcher. Huge advantage for a lot of dealers and retailers as well. So dealers are already integrated with our Radio Pro modules. There's this little cross-reference to kind of show them how the previous model Radio Pros that they may have rolls over into Radio Pro Advanced. So unserialized, unmap protected products that they may already be familiar with versus the newer serialized map protected products. So a very popular RP5 GM11 equates to the GM1 RST. RP4 or CH11 incorporates the CH1 RSX, CH1A RSX, the RP5 GM31, GM3A RSTX. And a lot of dealers can see the difference in these products, not only in the packaging and the label, but you'll notice a different color in the actual module itself, different shape, different connections, and things like that. So beyond the fact of having the standard capability of what any Radio Pro did in the past, there's also an upgrade of what the module's capabilities or what actually was included in the packaging with the original Radio Pro piece. So just to give a glimpse of what the comparison is between these products, not only do we beat our own product, we actually eclipse what any other of our competition are doing in some of the same module platforms. So take our RP5 GM11, which is probably our #1 selling Radio Pro in all of history. The fact that it retains OnStar across the board compared to our newer product versus the old product. So we do so much more in eclipsing what our old product did that it's not even a thought process when looking between the RP5 GM11 versus the GM1A RST. And we've gone through massive amounts of testing, massive amounts of updates in order to keep the newer Radio Pro Advanced modules to be the leader of the pack when dealers are looking for radio replacement modules. And this gives me the opportunity to talk about all the different modules we have available, Ben, because dealers can sometimes get confused when they go to our PAC website, pacaudio.com, and they pull up radio replacement, and there's 50 different modules out there because we've made lots of them over time, and we don't know whether you're dealing with an older product or a newer product, or you're just looking, what a distributor may have in stock. But always, we put the latest and the greatest up top first and foremost. So when you go to the PAC Audio site and you're looking through products, typically if there's a Radio Pro Advanced module available, it's going to be the first one that comes up when you're looking through these products. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I did. I was just going to say there's a lot of features, not just a few.
There's tons of features.
Kind of significant right there.
Yeah, Bose integration, whether it works in amplified and non-amplified applications, premium Bose now as well. There's a new app to work with the vehicle features for the Radio Pro Advanced modules as well. The GM1 ARST has the expansion port, like we said, to incorporate the VS41, serialized map protection, and the fact that we now incorporate the speaker versus the chime module. So that's a true sealed speaker in that, and that comes with the kit.
Comes with the kit. Okay.
Yeah, comes with the kit in order to give those OEM chimes directly into the vehicle's cabin for the consumer, because that chime module has caused a lot of issues for some dealers over the years. Some customers haven't cared, but those discerning customers who really wanted the OEM chime and didn't want that raspy chime, that speaker just really makes it that much better.
Where do you normally install that?
Typically under the dash or in the passenger kick panel.
Okay.
The harness is long enough to go pretty much anywhere, so that way you can get the signal into the vehicle without any problem. Then from an entry-level standpoint, the GM1 AR is the most entry-level of this. Even in that, even the most entry-level piece still eclipses everything that we had in the past, and gives the dealer so many more options above and beyond what the typical radio replacement module from an entry-level standpoint was able to do from PAC in the previous features. All right, so let's stage 2. Let's talk about getting more into integrated radio solutions. Right, integrated radio solutions takes on a lot of the majority of newer vehicles that we are seeing coming through our stores. Right, we have a complete suite of integrated kits for a lot of the most popular vehicles. RPK4, so Radio Pro, right, includes everything you need in the kits for a Radio Pro. K being this a kit, and then 4 dictates whether it's going to be the level of Radio Pro, and then the vehicle platform. So we currently have this platform in about 4 different models. There's the FD2101 for the 4-inch upgrade for F-150 2015 to 2020. There's a RPK4 FD2201. I'm sorry, the 2101 was for the 8-inch Ford kit. The 2201 was for a 4-inch upgrade. The RPK4 CH4101 is for the 13 and 19 Dodge Ram and 19 Ram Classic only. And then your RPK4 CH4103 is for your 14 to 20 Jeep Cherokee. Now, the reason we're focusing on these vehicles, Ben, is because these were really large screen, 8-inch screens integrated into these vehicles that had a lot of information that was on the OEM screen that can't be replicated into the aftermarket head unit itself without a lot of data integration. So what we did was, instead of doing that, we made it more universal. So no matter what radio you wanted to put in this vehicle, It can even be a radio without a screen, Ben. If someone wanted one of the double DIN platforms out there that was just the larger numerical screen, you could still do that. And because we've added this new 5.2-inch touchscreen panel in the bottom of all these dash kits, you can integrate any head unit into these kits.
Wow.
Right?
So okay. Now I see it. When you do it, okay. Right.
So we do
I thought that was part of the dash.
No, this is actually a screen that we integrate into these kits, right? So we actually have a term that we like to use internally in the company called best to market. So being first to market is not always the best thing to do because you rush a product, you skip features, you skip installer needs and things like that. So being best to market to us is more important than being first to market. So with these RPK kits, we literally sat back and looked at everything that you need to install. You have the ability now, because this is where we bring and mesh a lot of different areas of our company, right? We own a plastics company. We own American International, which is our dash kit plastics company. So now we have the ability to integrate all of our plastic capabilities in with our Radio Pro capabilities under the PAC brand. Then we have the ability to mesh all that together with our EchoMaster safety products. And this is where these integrated kits all mesh together, okay? So these kits have the ability to have single DIN, double DIN capability. They have the ability to retain all your factory USBs, your factory information for climate controls and things like that in that 5.2-inch touchscreen in the bottom of the dash kit itself. Climate controls are either integrated in the kit from us to imitate or replace OEM, or you bring your OEM climate controls over as well. So everything you need is in all these dash kits, Ben. Like literally you add technician, add head unit, give them this box. Everything is needed at that point in time is in the box itself, right? Total one-stop solution in these integrated kits.
Is that metal brackets too? Did I see?
No, those are all the different plastic brackets. So whether it's a single DIN or double DIN, you have it. Even comes with a pocket.
It comes with both.
It comes with both, depending upon whether you're going to do a single DIN or double DIN radio. And the radios in these kits are agnostic, so it can be Pioneer, Sony, Alpine, JVC, Power Acoustic, Fahrenheit. It doesn't matter. We have the ability to work with any brand of radio in these integrated dash kits. Another safety feature that's integrated into these kits is that if the vehicle has a factory reverse camera, like you mentioned earlier, being able to retain that, it has that built into the kit from stock. If the dealer or consumer wants to add additional cameras, or if they need to retain more than just a factory reverse camera, there's an optional harness called an RPA 16P5V that now gives you up to 5 camera inputs, Ben. So now you can
that's all controlled from that screen. That's part of the kit.
100% controlled by that touchscreen at the bottom. It is a camera switcher by adding this particular harness, the RPA 16P5V. So now you have front camera, reverse camera, left and right blind spot camera, and then you have the option of adding a 5th camera. That 5th camera can either be a Chimsel camera, which we'll learn about later in the EchoMaster training. Chimsel is a 3rd brake light camera, or they can use that as like a nanny cam. It could be an interior camera, so you can look in the back seat or whatever, monitor your kids or whatever else you want to use that 5th camera input for. Having the ability to have 5 camera inputs is extremely strong and important. Right?
I call that Batmobile status.
Yeah, really nice features. Just the fact of you give the customer the ability now a dealer can upsell their customer to have up to 5 camera inputs. And remember, these camera screens aren't just on that 5.2.
No, that's just the switching.
Correct. That's just the switching, and it goes right into your aftermarket radio.
But that camera switch is crisp.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of what's available on these screens, Ben, in that 5.2-inch touchscreen, you have the ability to keep all of your factory OEM options that were previously in the head unit, the OEM head unit. So through the flowing screen here, you have all of your OEM settings for light entry, door lock control, climate control, your camera switching that we just talked about, all your vehicle information from tire pressure monitoring, and your vehicle screens. And we make sure we cosmetically integrate these screens to look more like the OEM did. So this Ford menu here looks like the original sync screen from the Ford vehicle platform.
I got a question, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
This is a far reach question, but so example, on your camera selection, you want to add blind spot cameras. Is there any way to integrate that such that when you put your clicker on to go change lanes, that comes on auto?
100%. It's totally controlled by the vehicle's data bus. So you do not have, because think about it, when you go to turn, you're in a turning lane, you put your left clicker on, you don't want to hit this and then reach down and press the button. Since we're tied into the data bus, you're automatically going to have that camera turn on and show on your screen as long as that camera is installed and programmed into the system. We pick up all that turn signal information on the data bus and automatically turn it onto your screen.
Dirty.
Yep. Nice.
Nice.
In the Dodge platform, it looks more like the Dodge user interface, having the ability to custom load a screen image now. You have all of your factory controls. We even have a backdoor installer menu to go in and do some really neat installer custom programming. Single zone, dual zone climate controls in the vehicle. If it's a single zone climate control vehicle, it will only have the climate control numbers on one side of the vehicle. You still have your 5 camera inputs through the RPA 16P5V. The Dodge platform also gives us a lot more information on the vehicle. We can now display whether the parking brake is engaged, vehicle voltage, your drivetrain information, along with TPMS information. Then, of course, Dodge wouldn't be Dodge without the ability of retaining all of your vehicle performance screen, your 0 to 60 screen, your quarter mile information, top speeds, and also having the ability to custom select your different vehicle gauges in those platforms as well. So in these vehicle platforms, Ben, like I mentioned, we have the Ford F-150, we have the Dodge Ram, we have the Jeep Cherokee, and we just released the last one for the Dodge Durango as well. So having the ability to include all of these kits, and they're all available and in stock now. And remember, they work with any radio out there in the market. It's not just for one particular brand of radio.
You know, I should put up some info for you here because obviously Canadian dealers want to know where to get it. I'm going to put that up right there.
Yep. All of our products in Canada are available through either from PAC or available at either Gentech or Automobility, and they can definitely help you out with those. So what's next, Ben? So we already talked about integrating universal radios into this platform. So what's next for us is definitely going to be integrating into more vehicle-specific platforms and giving the customer an even better experience when replacing their OEM head unit with
that was pretty vehicle specific before.
No,
so
you haven't seen vehicle specific until you've seen where we're going now, right?
All right.
So this is a culmination between two of our biggest brands, PAC and Stinger. Okay, what you see here is the new SRK JW18EH. This is a complete plug-and-play solution for the 18 to 20 Jeep Wrangler JL and Jeep Gladiator. This is a solution, Ben, that now takes everything from the previous integrated PAC solutions, now with our new Stinger infotainment head unit, right? And you now combine these two. By having the ability for us to now have full control over the head unit, we can now do even more than what any other manufacturer is doing because we control the head unit, the data bus connections, the plastic integration, everything. So you're talking about a single box solution. Well, not single box because the head unit sold separately. But once you pair the head unit capability with this dash kit, Ben, it opens up an enormous amount of capabilities in this platform. Everything you need is included in the dash kit. Radio mounting harnesses and plastics for either both generations of head units, either the Elevate 8-inch screen or the High 10-inch screen. You have your vehicle dynamics informational screens, which we'll go over here in a second. It works in the amplified vehicles, the non-amplified vehicles, and the Gladiator with front and rear cameras. The Jeep Wrangler with the HD high resolution camera that no one else is integrating the way that we integrate because we control the head unit as well. The external chime speaker, the USB adapters for the front USB hubs, the center console USB hubs, antenna adapters. I mean, Ben, it's amazing what this kit can do for you.
So before I get to, I just want to make sure I understand that this is only specific to the Stinger source unit.
Correct. This is exclusive to the Stinger source unit.
Because of that, because you have control over that, you're unlocking features that other solutions can't provide.
Exactly, 100%. Right.
Well, this is going to be exciting for Jeep owners.
The Jeep clientele is massive, man. I mean, no matter where you go, these guys are like, they upfit their vehicles and spend ungodly amounts of money.
Ungodly. And they have a funny wave to one another. They do this weird wave thing.
Yeah. So Jeeps are the mini trucks of days past, right? You remember growing up?
Minis, man. All about
mini
the
trucks.
minis.
When I was growing up, mini trucks were the thing. Now Jeeps are the current mini trucks.
Young people be like, what's a mini? Isn't that a Cooper?
Right. So this is some of the vehicle platform information that we can do with the vehicle data connection. So a lot of people in our industry are used to other brands having these vehicle data information on their screen. Now we have a new module that is included in these SRK kits, these integrated kits through our product called PAC Link. PAC Link gives you all these vehicle performance screens available on this particular Jeep platform. You get your real-time climate controls, right? Single zone or dual zone capabilities, and the graphics are generated for that particular vehicle platform. Your vehicle status to let you know whether the hood is open, the hatch is open, the door is open, your TPMS information at any point in time, drivetrain. Jeepers are always out wheeling in trails and things like that, so you can see what your differentials are doing, if you're in two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, high and low, right? We give you information that the OEM didn't even put on the screen, Ben, so we make sure that the consumer is elated with the amount of information they're now getting. Looking at the ability to give them off-road information, because when you're out crawling over rocks and streams and ditches and things like that, you want to know how much pitch and roll you have in order to see if you're going to tip over.
Time out. Is that information available in the factory system?
No, 100% not.
Okay.
So this is information. These are things that our engineers saw on the data bus, and we were like, Jeepers would love to have this information.
Yeah.
So let's create our own screens. We have graphic guys in house. Alex is an amazing guy. Our engineering team, Gary, Greg, and all the other people here, they are Dodge lovers, Dodge Jeep platform lovers. So we have the ability, and they love to get into these vehicles and pull up all of this information, and we custom create all these screens in order to give dealers this info directly on their screen. So this is, like I said, no one else is doing this, Ben. So this is the first kit that gives all of this off-road information out there the way that we give it to you.
Just showing that this to Jeep customers from a dealer perspective, I mean, just bring up the credit card.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we have these videos and this information available in all of our different marketing platforms on the PAC website or AAMP website through Brand Central, which we'll talk about later. So if dealers don't have this head unit or platform in their store, they can definitely show it through YouTube videos or handouts and printouts that are available for free from our Brand Central website, which we'll talk about later. So the Gauges platform is available. You can select up to 2 different sets of screens here. The illumination is custom matched to the vehicle's illumination, how you set it up through the radio screen. But these gauges can be moved around in any orientation bend, and you have 2 pages of gauges. So oil temperature, transmission temperature, RPMs, your air, it's unlimited the amount of different gauges you can put on this screen. You're not limited to certain ones. So you can have a preset of 8 on one page and a preset of 8 more on an additional page. And then, of course, it wouldn't be Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep without having a performance screen. So whether it be your 0 to 60, your best quarter mile, or whatever else, you have a performance screen available to you as well. So the Jeep platform is extremely huge, and now we've entered into another SRK kit that's going to be available this spring as well. And this is for the 13 to 18 Dodge Ram and also the 19 Ram Classic. This is the SRK Ram 13H. So this is going to have a lot of the capabilities of the previous Jeep kit that we just were shown. So this one has the ability to now take the kit and now flush the head unit into the clamshell style instead of doing the floating install that we showed earlier. Now it's going to include the new Radio Pro Advanced module, excuse me, for the newer generation Ram truck integration, the PAC Link to give you the vehicle dynamic information, everything you need, whether it be a single zone climate control vehicle with center console, without center console, the USB hub, backup camera integration, everything you could think of is included in this kit for the new Rams. The vehicle platform, the vehicle data information that you get in this platform is also custom generated for the Ram truck as well. You can see the graphics have changed to fit the truck interior. You have the TPMS and vehicle information, front door, rear doors open, hood is open, things like that. Your gauge screen comes over along with the performance screen. Now, Ben, you'll notice the Ram platform doesn't have the off-road pitch and roll because that information is not brought over on the data bus for that particular vehicle. So if it was there, we would put it up there, but it's not there on the data bus. So we put whatever's available on that platform in this vehicle application.
And I would argue it's a little less of a sought after feature versus the Jeep market.
Correct. Yeah, I don't see many Ram guys out climbing ditches and and
No.
things like that. So just a little
Wow, look at that, eh?
information. Yeah, the difference between the before and after. There's 3 different radio sizes available in the RAM platform. Being able to go from the smaller 5-inch, 7-inch, and 8-inch up to that 10-inch, it's a huge upgrade, Ben.
Mhm.
Huge. And we have all these before and after photos
There's
available for
so many
dealers.
Rams on the road. So many.
So many, right? So much of a difference. And we have this, and we create this type of POP for dealers to use and put on their social, put on their websites, or whatever else, so that they can entice a dealer or retailer into consumer into upgrading their head unit.
Just give me a time check, Jeff. You have 10 minutes.
Okay. We have a Silverado kit available coming this spring as well. The Silverado kit is a SR kit, so it's not a integrated kit like the Ram. It's going to flush the head unit in and also bring over a plug-and-play harness that integrates everything into this application as well. This is for your 14 to 18 Sierra Silverado and the 19 Classic HD, 2500, 3500.
This
So
is
this
for
is
all head units, or
this is for the high 10 head unit as well.
Okay.
Only the high 10 head unit.
Gotcha.
Then you can see the upgrade here from 4-inch to 10-inch in this particular platform, from the 7-inch to the 10-inch, and also from the 8-inch to 10-inch. This head unit looks completely like GM made it this way when you do this SR kit. Now remember, Ben, there's SRK and SR.
Yeah.
SRK means it's integrated, all the vehicle dynamic screens with the PAC Link module and Radio Pro Advanced. If it's an SR, it's a flush kit with the existing Radio Pro that's available for that platform.
Can you go back 2 slides real quick? The small screen. Yeah, that is just ridiculous.
4-inch to 10-inch, Ben. It's massive.
It's
massive.
gross. Yeah,
massive.
Cool. All right.
So we're going to move through some of these a little bit faster. Now, the Jeep platform, right, the JL, opened up a huge ability for us to get into the JK customer. The JK customers are like, oh, you only giving love to the JLs. We're going to now also have this spring a JK kit, the SR-JK11H, that will cover that platform. Now, it is just a flush kit, not a integrated kit like the SRK, but there's going to be a SRK kit that is coming later down the road. The current SR is going to have a flush-in monitor with the current Radio Pro platform that is available for the Jeep customer now, in that 11 to 18 for the Jeep JK. Now,
are these available?
These will be available this spring. This spring, right?
Okay.
And this moves the head unit from a floating standpoint with the typical dash kit Radio Pro into a flushed look. So it's going to be a better fit and finish with the particular SR kit for the Jeep JK platform. And there's a lot more coming down the road. One of the most exciting ones that are going to be coming down the road is going to be the Charger Challenger. The Camaro's coming down the road, and then there's going to be an SRK version of the GM kit coming later into Q4 of this year as well. Okay. So let's talk about amplifier integration really fast, Ben. So modern problems there as well, dealing with vehicles with premium audio solutions, right? Bose, JBL, Harman, Infinity, and all these other different type of OEM systems where you're dealing with individual amplified outputs. You're dealing with all-pass filters, ANC mics in the vehicles, and things like that. So with that type of amplifier integration, it's integrated and requires a solution just like the radio integration would be. So looking at standard radio amplifier integration, you're talking about something as simple as a line output converter. PAC has been synonymous in amplifier integration for years with all of our SNI products, SNI 15s, SNI 35s, and those products have been around for years for standard amplifier integration, but the world has progressed. So we've come up with new radio Lock Pro models like the Lock Pro 3, 5, and 7 series that are available in 2-channel and 4-channel. As the vehicles advanced as well, you had multiple channel outputs, and then we needed something as complicated as a PDLC 81 summing device. And then vehicles evolved again with the technology requiring load resistors. So load resistors are needed there in order to keep factory amplifiers happy, factory head units happy, in order to make them think that a working speaker is still present and not to shut off that particular output in that head unit, and to keep everything working properly. But the issue with summing with these larger devices, whether it be from our device or one of the integration leaders like Audio Control, who was on last week, make great summing devices. But the issue is that when you sum all these factory EQ signals back together, it's not exactly flat. So what you want is a more desired flat response out. And what we have available to give dealers this option is our data bus controlled amplified solutions, which is AAMP Pro. AAMP Pro is a plug-and-play solution that connects behind the head unit and takes that flat output from the head unit and now gives you 3 sets of RCAs, front, rear, sub out, along with the optional optical output and subwoofer level control in order to give you the ability to now add amplifiers into these modern data bus controlled amplified systems. And this is how it works really quick, Ben. We take that 2-channel full range signal from the head unit that typically goes into the amplifier and is controlled there. And this is where we typically add your summing devices or your line output converters after the fact. And now we're fighting all the EQ crossover that are already preset by the automotive engineers. What we do is we integrate between the amplifier and the head unit, plug and play, and go directly into the vehicle's data bus for volume control from the steering wheel control or from the head unit, and give you 3 sets of 5-volt or 4-volt RCAs out, front, rear, and a non-fading sub output that will take you right into any aftermarket amplifier. So we're not really defeating any purpose of giving you RCA out. We're giving you the ability to even go optical out if you need to go into a DSP. Right? So now we're making it extremely easy for amplifiers to be added into these modern data bus amplified vehicles. The Radio Pro family is evolved into GM platform. There's an AP4 GM61. There's 2 different Ford platforms, the FD11 and FD21, 3 Chryslers, including the updated AP4 CH41R2 that works with amplified and non-amplified vehicles, and then the new Toyota platforms that are the TY11 for your older Toyotas with JBL, your TY12, and then the newest RP4 TY13 R2 that gives you the ability to incorporate a lot of newer vehicles because we've now updated the harness. We've added 50 new applications on this new Toyota Lexus platform with our AP4 TY13 R2. So this is a newer revision to this that's opening up the door for many, many new applications. Now there's a new Sub Pro. So for those dealers who didn't want to use an entire AAMP Pro and you're just adding a subwoofer connection or amplifier, now Sub Pro T-harness is in the exact same way, and it's only going to give you 2 RCAs out instead of 6, Ben. So sub-level control, T-harness, 5-volt output capability directly to its subwoofer amplifier. So you keep the factory amplifier in place in order to play all of your factory speaker locations, but now you have a dedicated output just for subwoofers. The current Sub Pro platform is available in your GM platform, Ford, and 2 different Chrysler platforms. Toyota is still in the works, but we expect Toyota to be coming later in the year as well.
That's perfect if you just want to put in a powered sub.
Exactly. Makes amplifier installs in newer vehicles extremely easy. Some couple of things to really think about, Ben, in the Sub Pro category is that the Chrysler models only work in amplified vehicles. These are low pass, so they only play your sub signals at 350 hertz and down, so that even if you want to use an Epicenter or any other bass augmentation device, it still works with our internal crossover. The Chrysler CH41 and the GM61 includes the ANC bypass harnesses as well. Okay, so that's going to be a really good feature that we're included in order for dealers not to have to go hunting for ANC mics in the vehicle in those applications as well. So Ben, I know it's a fire hose of information because PAC has so many different SKUs, but if dealers want to download more information, they can definitely go to our AMP Global website. And they can go to Brand Central where they can find catalogs, they can find our logos, the newest product releases are always there. They're divided into each brand as well. And then there's tons of POP and information that's there for them to download social content in order to build their own social media or to put on their websites. And like we said before, all of our PAC products are available in Canada from Gentech and Automobility. Their information is there as well if they want to reach out to those distributors there, our great partners in Canada. We also have our YouTube channel where we do lots of product videos, unboxings, and how things work, and also teaser videos so dealers can incorporate those into their own social and websites as well. And then, of course, we have tech support. Tech support in Canada can be handled through Gentech and All Mobility, but you can also reach us here in the USA with the not toll free, but our 727-592-5991, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for 24/7 access to our tech support team, Ben, we have an AAMP tech support group on Facebook that is open 365, 24/7 for dealers to reach out to us with any of our brand tech support questions. PAC, Stinger, PG, Echo Master, whatever they need is available to us.
If I message that, do you message me back? Is that you?
Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's any of our sales guys, any of our engineering team,
That's
any of
cool.
our tech support team that's located here in Florida. Our tech support guys are in California. Plenty of MECP certified guys all around the world. We have an exclusive group of installers that we call PAC Pros. We have some of our PAC Pros in Canada as well. They're always out and available to help any person that has a tech support question on that tech support group.
All right. Are we wrapped up on the presentation?
On PAC, yep, that's it. Unless you got any questions or anything you want to
Of
talk
course I have
about.
questions. I always have questions. This is what I do. So first of all, I love the leader of the pack. That's great. Let's keep that going. Number two, very interesting with the full body SRK kits with the screen, the whole nine. I think Jeep guys are going nuts right now just seeing that. I'd love to see more of the packet. Shoot, I didn't write down the model number, but the one where you just T-harness into the signal out of the radio so you can add amplification to your sound system.
AAMP Pro, yeah. AAMP Pro is a huge category for us.
My
because
goodness.
There are other companies in our industry that do a similar type of amplifier integration, but we take ours a little bit differently, where other manufacturers require you to take the amplifier out. We don't require you to take the amplifier out. And that's a really big thing, because you never know what your customer wants to do. And we allow the customer to evolve over time. If they're just wanting to add a sub amp, you can either do sub pro or regular amp pro. And the amp pro will then give you the ability to upgrade the customer in steps. Their factory amplifier stays in, so it plays their center channel, plays their front speakers or rear speakers. Then when they get more money or that next STEMI check comes in, they can then come in and add a 4-channel amplifier, right? Add the 4-channel amplifier, and then you have those outputs already there for you to then get a 4-channel amplifier and play the entire system, from that standpoint. And that's one thing we always try to do. We try not to take away any OEM features. We try to ensure the customer gets the best fit and finish, the best performance. We try to make sure our retailers or installers believe in the quality and performance of our products. We try to always, like in the first couple of slides, we talked about what everyone needs, what the vehicle needs, what the consumer needs, and what our dealers need. That thought process is what goes into all of our PAC products in order to make sure that everybody gets exactly what they need, and we don't skip any steps and don't skip any really important vehicle needs, because if there's anything that changes along the way, 99% of all of our products, modern products, are all in-field updatable. So that means you're not going back to Gentech saying, hey, this is old inventory. You're not going back to Automob going, hey, this is old inventory.
Update it.
Right there in your store. You grab your computer. Most of them have a micro USB port on them, and you just plug it in your computer, go to the PAC website, find your model, update it with the newest firmware, newest installation and user instructions as well. Every time we update the firmware, we also typically update the instructions on the website, complete change log, what we updated, why we updated it. Everything's always there.
Time's up. Can't believe it. We're already there, but I have to ask one more question because it's an obvious question. The Stinger head units with the big screens, are they, what's the availability like on those?
Those are readily available. There are still some of the Elevates available in certain distributors around the world, and the High 10 is currently available everywhere.
Perfect. We'll continue this discussion on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.
A lot, Jeff.
All right.
There you have it, guys. That's a wrap for PAC Integrate products from AMP Global. Wow, that was a lot of great new releases, and I'm sure there's a lot of dealers that are pretty excited about some of the stuff coming down the pipe. All right, continuing our live coverage here from day 7 of CMA Industry Week. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.